Hey, what is up everybody, it's Animac here from AnimeUproar, and in this video, I will be breaking down everything we know so far about every notable devil in the Black Clover story. From Zagred, the main villain of the Elf Saga, to Asta's own devil bro, and of course, the overpowered devil villains of the Spade Kingdom War Arc, we're gonna be talking about all of them right here. The devils are some of the strongest and most fascinating beings in the entire world of Black Clover, so let's get into it. If you enjoy our Black Clover videos and you want to show your support, just leave a like and comment. It's a quick and completely free way to support the channel right now. And of course, if you want to keep seeing our videos in the future, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell to turn on all notifications. You really have to go through the trouble of subscribing, hitting that bell, and then selecting the option that says all. If you don't do that, you're gonna miss a ton of our videos. It's just how YouTube works. You can also hit me up on Twitter and Instagram at AnimeUproar. Finally, this video will contain Black Clover manga spoilers. I will be using all of the available information on the devils, so please proceed with caution. You have been warned. Let's start it off with Zagred, the main villain of the Elf Saga, and the first devil that we meet in the proper sense of the word. I mean, we've technically known Asta's devil longer, but we didn't get to see his true form, and we didn't really learn anything about him until much later in the story. Zagred is a male devil who has been alive for over 500 years and who is known as being one of the highest ranking devils in the devil hierarchy. This means that he is incredibly powerful and has an impressive amount of mana, even by the standards of the underworld. Zagred was of course the mastermind behind the Elf Massacre, and he is secretly responsible for pretty much all the terrible things that happened during the Elf Saga. Right before the Elf Massacre, Zagred possessed one of the Clover Kingdom's royal ministers, and he manipulated the humans of the Clover Kingdom and convinced them to betray the elves and attack them during Licht and Tetia's wedding ceremony. Nearly the entire elf tribe was wiped out, Tetia was seriously injured, and Licht descended into despair, which turned his grimoire into a 5-leaf grimoire. Zagred then attempted to take possession of Licht's powerful mana-rich body, but Licht refused to let that happen. With the help of the magic stones, he transformed himself into the giant demon, which effectively stopped Zagred from being able to possess him. Zagred then tried to take possession of Licht's 5-leaf grimoire, but Zagred was able to use her sealing magic and the magic stones to seal Zagred away in an eternal prison. However, before the seal could be completed, Zagred managed to summon the magic stones, and he then used them to ensure that the souls of the massacred elves will be reincarnated in the future along with him. This reincarnation occurs some 5 centuries later, and Zagred eventually manipulates Patri and the other reincarnated elves into opening the Shadow Palace. Zagred is then able to summon his original body from the underworld, and this sets the stage for the final epic battle of the Elf Saga. Zagred uses Kotodama magic, which is a type of magic that allows him to alter physical reality with his words. He can summon monsters, swords, and all sorts of other magical and non-magical weapons by just mentioning them verbally. And he can also manipulate a wide variety of objects and living beings at will. Most magic from the human world has little to no effect on Zagred. The only exceptions are Yami's dark magic and Asta's anti-magic. Zagred is eventually defeated by a massive team effort that includes not only Asta and Yami, but a bunch of other overpowered warriors, including the first Wizard King and Licht. That was truly an epic showdown and one of my personal favorite shonen fights of all time. Okay, now let's talk about Asta's devil, Liebe, who also turned out to be Asta's adoptive brother. Liebe was born inside the underworld as one of the lowest ranked devils. In fact, when he was born, he had no magic at all, which is an extremely rare occurrence. Because of his weakness and lack of magic, Liebe was constantly abused and bullied by the other devils. And one day he was thrown into the gate that separates the underworld from the human world. The devil who threw Liebe was expecting him to smash into the gate and die, but instead Liebe passed through the gate and ended up in the human world. It seems that the gate was designed to stop any being with magic from passing through it. But because Liebe had no magic, he was able to pass through. After everything that he had been through, Liebe had no desire to attack humans or to try to manipulate them in any way. But because he is a devil, and of course he looks like a devil, the humans who came across him were scared of him. They assumed that because he is a devil, he must be evil and dangerous, and so they summoned the magic knights to get rid of him. Liebe is forced to run from the magic knights, and he eventually collapses somewhere deep in the woods. But instead of being killed by the humans as he was fully expecting, Liebe wakes up to find that he has been taken in by a human woman named Lichita. And this woman has been taking care of him and nursing him back to health. Lichita eventually decides to adopt Liebe and to raise him as her own son. It turns out that Lichita is also an outcast from society, just like Liebe. Her body steals magic and life force from everything around her, including all living creatures. She doesn't seem to have the power to turn this ability off, so she is shunned by society since no one wants to have their life force or magic drained. However, since Liebe has no magic and since he is a devil rather than a human, he is able to live with Lichita without suffering any negative consequences. As time passes, Lichita and Liebe become like mother and son. It is truly a heartwarming relationship, and we eventually learn that Lichita was forced to give up one child in the past, presumably to protect the child from being negatively affected by her magic. And as it turns out, that child was none other than Asta himself. So, Liebe, Asta's devil, was actually raised by Asta's own birth mother. Everything is going great until one day Lucifer, one of the highest ranked devils, discovers that Liebe is able to live inside the human world without a human host. Lucifer then attempts to take over Liebe's body. But Lichita loves Liebe as her own son, so when Lucifer tries to possess him, she sacrifices herself in order to save him. Lichita fights back against Lucifer, and she manages to force him out of Liebe's body by using her magic to absorb a portion of Lucifer's mana. Unfortunately, before Lucifer disappears, he manages to give Lichita a fatal injury. Believing that her time is running out, Lichita uses her other ability, which is the ability to seal anything without magic inside an inanimate object, to seal Liebe himself inside a 5-leaf grimoire that she had found at some point in the past. And that grimoire is of course Licht's former grimoire. That is how Liebe ended up inside that 5-leaf grimoire, where he was safe from future attacks by Lucifer. And as he spent many years inside the grimoire, Liebe grew older and stronger. And he also spent pretty much all of his time plotting revenge against Lucifer and the other devils for destroying his life and killing his mother. At some point while inside the grimoire, Liebe's anti-magic abilities began to manifest. This might have been a latent ability that he was always going to manifest, or it might have been the result of Lichita's absorption magic or some combination of the two. For example, maybe Lichita accidentally sealed away some of her own absorption magic and maybe even some of Lucifer's magic along with Liebe inside the grimoire. And then the combination of absorption magic and Lucifer's devil magic inside the grimoire eventually created what we know today as anti-magic. After the 5-leaf grimoire chooses Asta as its new owner, Liebe's initial plan was to take over Asta's body and just use Asta as a tool to get his revenge. But eventually, Asta and Liebe decide to work together because Liebe realizes that Asta is not his rival. He is actually his long-lost adoptive brother, and the two of them share a common enemy, Lucifer. And speaking of Lucifer, let's talk about him next because he plays such a prominent role in the entire Spade Kingdom War Arc. Lucifer, also known as Lucifero, is one of the highest ranking devils who resides at the very lowest level of the underworld and therefore at the bottom of the Tree of Qliphoth. At some point in the past, Lucifer made a contract with a human host by the name of Dante Zogradis, who is of course one of the members of the Dark Triad. All three Zagred siblings are devil magic users, and they used their magic powers to overthrow the ruling house of the Spade Kingdom and take control for themselves. Lucifer uses immensely powerful gravity magic, which, as the name suggests, allows its user to manipulate gravity in various ways. In chapter 286, it is stated that the underworld is actually ruled by three devils. One has time magic, one has spatial magic, and one has gravity magic, which suggests that Lucifer is likely one of the three rulers of the underworld. And since I just mentioned spatial magic, let's talk about Xenon's devil. Now, we still don't know this devil's name, but we know that its magic allows it to manipulate the fabric of space itself. Xenon's devil is one of the highest ranking devils, so he could be one of the three rulers of the underworld based on the information we got in chapter 286 about one of them having spatial magic. Xenon's devil makes its host incredibly strong, and Xenon has demonstrated his strength over and over again, including in his fight against the entire Diamond Kingdom army, in his fight against William Vengeance and the Golden Dawn, and in his ability to rescue Dante and kidnap Yami at the same time using his devil's spatial magic. The third devil associated with the Dark Triad is Vanica's devil, Megicula. Megicula also appears to be one of the highest ranking devils, and this devil possesses tremendously powerful curse magic. This suggests that Megicula is not one of the three rulers of the underworld, because she doesn't have any of the three magical attributes that the rulers of the underworld are said to have. That said, Megicula has been around for a long time, and all curse magic in the human world is said to have come from her. In the past, she apparently made a pact with members of the Agrippa family, and she also personally cursed Noel's mother Asier Silva and Princess Loropechica. Megicula's curse magic is so powerful that it can take down arcane stage mages, and it can even have an effect on elemental spirits. Megicula is said to be considerably stronger than Zagred, and to be fair, her gender is not actually known at this time. I usually refer to her as she because I associate her with Vanica. That said, the devils do appear to have genders, since a couple of devils that we've met possess distinctly feminine features like breasts. And one of these devils is Lilith, so let's talk about her and Naamah. Lilith and Naamah appear to be twins, and they are both released into the human world from the top level of the Tree of Qliphoth. Lilith possesses devil ice magic, and Naamah possesses devil fire magic. But these are not normal forms of fire and ice magic. Rather, they are special and overpowered devil versions of these magic attributes. And this means that they are able to freeze and burn everything. Not only can they burn and freeze physical matter, but they can also burn and freeze things without a physical substance, such as light, shadows, and darkness. Lilith and Naamah both appear to be complete psychos who love toying with weaker creatures, including humans. They entertain themselves by overpowering and tormenting other life forms. There is a fan theory out there somewhere that one of these two devils was the devil who threw Liebe up into the human world. Alright, now let's talk about the four different devils who made a contract with Nacht, the vice captain of the Black Bulls. All four of these devils are mid-ranked devils, which means that they are not among the weakest devils, but they are also nowhere near the highest ranked devils when it comes to power. As the heir to the noble Faust family, which had been secretly studying devils and forbidden magic for generations, Nacht was able to gain access to these four devils at a very young age. And due to his exceptional talent for devil magic, he was able to make contracts with all four of them. Each devil has a chibi form as a devil familiar, and a larger form which is based on an animal. First up we have Gimodello, whose appearance is based on a dog and whose unite mode with Nacht is called Canis. When in Canis mode, Nacht can use an ability called Pack, which allows him to basically generate a bunch of shadow clones. Then we have Slotos, whose appearance is based on a horse and whose unite mode with Nacht is called Equus. This mode functions like a powerful shadow armor that makes Nacht a lot tougher and more resilient. So it is an excellent defensive technique. Next up we have Plumede, whose appearance is based on a cat and whose unite mode with Nacht is called Felis. This mode allows Nacht to use incredible speed and agility to run circles around his opponents. Finally, we have Walgren, whose appearance is based on a rooster and whose unite mode with Nacht is called Galus. This mode allows Nacht to unleash a loud cry that has the power to paralyze his opponents. It is important to note that these Devil Unite forms may still have other abilities and techniques that we just haven't seen yet. It is also important to note that Nacht has the ability to unite with more than one of his devils at the same time. In chapter 287, Nacht is able to unite with both Plumede and Wagner to create a special devil union form called Galus Ex Felis. At first, Nacht believes that uniting with two mid-ranked devils will make him strong enough to rival a highest-ranked devil. But unfortunately for Nacht, this does not turn out to be the case. The final devil that we need to talk about here is Lucifugus. Lucifugus is one of the highest ranked devils, and Nacht actually tried to summon him back when he was younger in an attempt to make him the fifth devil that he could make a contract with. The Faust family orchestrated an elaborate secret ritual in order to summon Lucifugus. But this devil was so strong that he ended up killing everyone inside the building except for Nacht himself. In fact, Nacht's twin brother Morgan sacrificed his own life in order to stop the ritual and save Nacht. In chapter 286 of the manga, it is implied that Lucifugus serves directly under the three rulers of the underworld, so he is presumably not one of those three. His magic attribute and other details are still unknown as of the making of this video. And that is it, every notable devil in Black Clover explained. There are of course many other less significant low tier and mid tier devils that we met during the Spade Kingdom War Arc, basically nameless devil NPCs. But we know so little about them that it really doesn't make sense to mention them specifically. Let me know what you guys think about the devils in Black Clover, and who is your favorite devil so far? Also, who is this devil who uses time magic? And will anybody be able to stop a highest ranked devil with the power to control time? Definitely share your thoughts down in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more Black Clover content here on the channel, please leave that like to let me know, it really does help. And if you're new to AnimeUproar, or maybe you watch our videos but you haven't subscribed yet, do me a favor and make this the video that you subscribe and hit that notification bell to turn on all notifications. You can also hit me up on Twitter and Instagram at AnimeUproar. A big thank you to all of our AnimeUproar patrons for making videos like this one possible. Special thank you to Alpha Sigma, disciple of Lord Twigo himself. And I can't forget our The One tier patrons, the ones who stand above all other clans, including Ingrata, A Quiet Respect, Bate Heffa, Liam Thompson, Aljatal, Dr. Courtman, Dustin Scarlet, Emperor Otaku, Spidey Life Tunnel, Baked Buddhist, Tungsten Tarkus, and Yuno. Finally, thank you also to our Pro Hero tier patrons, including the one and only Gilgamesh, Steelers, Angel Cruz, Anatoly Kazatsky, Cricket XP, Rathuin Deora, Very Gucci, Alicia Akhter, Bonnie Parks, Hinokami and Water, Joanne Garcia, The Red Haired Raven, Ted No Ted, iSparky65, Fatboy Games, Deadly Saint, and Soul Ray Slice and Dice. If you enjoy our videos and you feel that they provide value to you, consider supporting us on Patreon. Even a single $1 will give you access to our patron exclusive Discord, and your name will appear in our videos along with these legendary people. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, see ya, Space Cowboys!